Hi, internet friend. So I've decided to start a new project. I'll admit this project is probably only for me, but I appreciate you being here to check it out. So Moonbreaker is a game that went into 1.0 as of a few days ago. I've had it since early access, and I played it a bit to get the hang of it, but PvP isn't really my thing, and that's kind of the only thing they had at that point. So I put it on the shelf because I wasn't enjoying it. But then with 1.0, they've added a boss rush, which is essentially a permadeath run through 9 increasing difficulty bosses. And since I could barely beat the tutorial boss, I figured I'd just chronicle my journey to trying to beat this game. I figured that would be fun by itself. But that said, I wanted to add my own personal wrinkle, and I've been thinking for a while about what that would be and how I would do that in this channel. So I've decided that I'd like to try to keep advanced statistics on my gameplay and use that for analysis. And I figured the fun part would be to share that with these videos. So throughout the episode, you'll see some pop-ups of graphs that I've created for that moment specifically in the episode. And then at the end, I'll come back for a few minutes of off-the-cuff analysis that I thought were interesting for this episode. And so, without further ado, let's get right into the action.
Only justice.
Stay where you are!
Modify your roster. Your turn.
I am in control.
Opponent's turn.
Recalculating.
Eyes open, tails behaving.
Your turn.
These paradoxes give pause.
Opponent's turn. Your turn.
Be brave.
Watch how to use this.
We must do this. Use this wisely.
Opponent's turn.
Quietly.
Your turn.
I am in control.
I'll control your breathing. Soon my plans come to fruition! How delightful. Every hope and dream shattered!
Be brave.
Opponent's turn. Captain, your health is at 50%. Your turn.
I'm in control! Let's get you wheeled.
These paradoxes give pause. Defense first.
Grenade, order up! We're never going back.
You have deployed 5 out of 6 crew on the field.
That is wise.
Opponent's turn.
Fetch me a sack of 8!
Your turn.
Relax. Battle! A steamy ballet!
The rival captain's health is at 50%.
That cinder glow. Incoming!
Want me? I'm right over here. Safety word!
How does your doom feel? It's almost time.
Opponent's turn. Your turn.
I am in control.
The rival captain's health is low.
These cumbersome controls.
Looking good.
Would a grenade help? Behold!
Calculate or contemplate. Stay guarded.
Opponent's turn. Your turn.
Valuable data to enhance my understanding.
Alright, I'm back. That's the end of my first run, and that was pretty fun. I haven't lost, so that's pretty impressive. Usually I lose right away, so I think I might be getting the hang of this a little bit. I definitely screwed up quite a lot. Just leaving my captain out there just to get shot up a bunch was really not that smart, so hopefully I do better about that in the future. Main problem is that this is a permadeath game and there's basically no regaining of life in between missions, so as we head into mission 2, you know, my captain's already going to be all screwed up, so that's going to be a pain. Anyway, so let me walk you through some of the data that I collected. So I went through and rewatched the video, and it was nice because I sort of learned a lot about how to play and how I play and things I should have done better. But then I went through and logged all this data manually, and so I have an ID for each of the rows, the run ID, which is if I play this more than one time, I'll increment the run ID, the moon ID, meaning like the level ID, and the round ID is within the match, the round where me versus the bad guy, so it doesn't count the rounds in the game, but I figured I'd do that here. Actor is the person doing the action. It's not always an attacker, it's not always a good guy or bad guy, so I went with actor. And then I broke the party into good guys and bad guys. I'm the good guys, they're the bad guys. If you leave a comment, I'd be happy to name my team after whatever your comment is, so let me know about that. The subject is the person that the action is upon, and when that way I'd be able to say that it's not like the defender or something. It's because sometimes it's a skill that buffs someone, so I want to keep track of that. So it's either the action is happening to someone though, so it's the subject of the action, and which team that person was on, and then what type of action it was. This is the literal action, and this is the type of action. There's only, I think there's 4 different types of actions, because we have the attacks and skills, but then there's one other one, which is, we have passive. At some point in here, I also had an assist, which is the card that I used once. This cost is the mana cost. I think it's called Ozos or something like that. But these are the mana cost. I also logged the estimated success percentage when an attack happened. And so ranged attacks have a lower percentage chance. So I thought maybe there'd be some interesting analysis of my success rate versus the computer success rate at different percentages here. And this is whether the action was a success. In the case of attacks, that's easy to based on whether the hit happened, and a lot of the skills, the action is just sort of automatic. And so what I thought I'd track for success is whether or not having completed this skill was a good idea, or whether this passive skill had an effect upon the game. If it doesn't have an effect, then I'm going to give it a 0 for the success. This is a column that logs all the damage that happened, and this column logs whether a kill occurred because of that damage. This column logs any side effects that happened because of the action, and this is a helpful column. So these last 3 are helper columns that have calculations in them. The first one is, if it's my party, was it damage to my party? And then this groups together 2 or 3 of the action types, or it sort of just looks through for whether or not damage was logged, and says that was an attack. And the last one is a rounding of the estimations, because I think a histogram of the success percentage is probably going to happen eventually. But so here's some graphs that I created. So you saw this graph in the game. My team did pretty well. I definitely let this dude shoot me up way too much. The captain of their team was just wailing away, and it's all down to the very first move, because when I moved into a position where he was able to shoot me, he was able to immobilize me, and then I couldn't move out of the way. I did put some of my teammates in the way, and that lowered the percentage at some point, but yeah, the lesson learned: don't get close to Dimmy and Snool, because they'll lock you down. I really thought that Detonia did really great. Gosh, I would have loved to get those 7 hits for Furia that on that miss. Ultimately, Jailbreak just bashing away on the dude was the best thing. That worked out really nice. Over here I have a graph of skill actions taken by my team and whether they were successful or not. And as you can see, my captain has just completely whiffed. Every time that I used the Shield of Hope, it missed. The person didn't end up getting attacked. I probably should have learned to put it on myself at some point early in the matchup, but that didn't happen, so maybe I'll learn that in the future. Which reminds me, by the way, Extilter is down here as last place on damage, last place in successes. Definitely have to put a huge amount of fail onto Extilter. Captain gets the bummer of the match. And then to that point, I guess the last thing I want to say is who I would give the MVP of the first match to. And I think it's kind of obviously that it's Jailbreak, but the really most interesting thing was not necessarily the 2 damage every turn, but the ability to hold the captain in place using the move that was his like passive was really, really valuable. Yeah, lockup was probably the most powerful part of this match, because that bad guy wanted to be able to move, Dimmy and Snool wanted to be able to move inside of the circle that was going to heal them up, and they weren't able to because we held them immobilized by using lockup, by having Jailbreak right up in melee range with him. So yeah, so I'm going to give the MVP to Jailbreak. I think he did a really good job in this one. I really loved Antonia's work. I liked Maximus's work. Yeah, everybody did really well, with the exception of Extilter. Next time I'm going to have to do better. Okay, that's the end of my analysis, so I hope you enjoyed the video. And if you liked it, give me a like, or if you have an idea for something I can do differently, leave me a comment. I'd love to hear about it. Alright, talk to you later. Bye.